Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, yes.
Good evening.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening. Welcome to Disciples India Learning Forum, a unit of Disciples India Educational Resources Private Limited. Welcome you all to this learning session. Request you all to kindly mute your phone, possibly can sit in a place where you're not disturbed. Request to ask questions at the end of the session. Remember, a new learning is always difficult initially, but becomes a habit eventually. Today's agenda: welcome and introduction, journey so far DILF, guest speakers introduction, session. DILF Learning Forum, Disciples India Group, Bangalore is happy to present a platform purely for the joy of learning. It is envisaged to be an exciting learning platform where like-minded individuals and organizations can come together, share experiences, and learn and grow as individuals, professionals, and organizations. Our objectives: to provide a platform to share and exchange ideas and experiences, to create and develop personal and professional network of learners, to enhance effective communication and leadership skills, to foster learning and contribute for personal, professional, and organizational development, to update with life management skills and contribute as an effective member to the society. So our committee members: Disciples India Learning Forum Organizing Committee members 2023, Dr. A.M. Suresh, Forum Advisor; Dr. B. Rupashri Tantri, President; Mr. Shiv Prasad K.M., Vice President; Mrs. Madhumati L., Secretary; Mrs. Viraja R., Joint Secretary; Mr. Akhilesh N.N., Assistant Secretary; Mr. Dilip A.P., Executive Member. So Disciples India Learning Forum sessions. So we started in the year 2018, and so far we have completed 106 sessions in last 5 years. So this 107th learning session, 18 March 2023, topic: psychological insights for holistic well-being. Guest speaker, Dr. Padmashri S. Rao. Dear guest, hearty welcome to the event. Madam, we welcome you to the event.
Yeah, thank you.
I take this privilege to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Padmashri S. Rao, psychotherapist and counselor, NLP practitioner, and life skills trainer. Academic qualifications: MS in counseling and psychotherapy, MPhil in adolescent cognitive psychology, postgraduate in journalism and public relations, PhD thesis, adolescent relations and socialistic competence, NLP from Sue Knight, London, life skills training from NIMHANS. So her profession being private practitioner, counseling in psychotherapy, NLP practitioner, life skills, faculty and counselor at Prasanna Counseling Center, guest faculty at HAL, psychotherapist and counselor for COVID patients, counselor and consultant for SEVA. So, and she has also done many professional activities. So welcome you, ma'am, to the forum. Ma'am, request you to continue your speech. Ma'am, over to you to continue the session.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so good evening all. So today's session, it was a randomly picked topic when Dr. Rupa was talking, when we were conversing. So the topic is psychological insights for holistic well-being. As the word says, yes, holistic well-being means it is the well-being of both body and mind. So sometimes we are fine, everything is fine, but still we are very uncomfortable. We can't do many of our activities. That means we lack in our psychological insights, like what is happening in our mind. So we need to assess. So we'll just go a little bit more detail about this. What is psychological insight? You know, so for a holistic well-being means how do we manage both body and mind in reaching our goals. Our life has a purpose. Our life has, we need to know what is that we really want in life. We need to know who we are. We need to know what way we are connected to this planet. What is the purpose of his life? So we have to think beyond. That is where that insight comes. So for that, to keep ourselves goal oriented, we need to assess our thought processes. What is happening in our mind is more important. One.
Madam, we are not able to hear you, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, madam.
Yeah. So it is, life is like a roller coaster. What is enjoyable for some may not be as enjoyable for others. So like a roller coaster, a husband and wife were going in a roller coaster. The husband was giggling and he was enjoying at the top of his voice, and it was a very pleasurable moment for him. But for the wife, she was extremely stressed. She was not at all happy sitting there. She just wanted to jump down and feel safe. So it is, the experience is the same. The activity is the same. Action is the same, but different people experience in different ways. Okay, so the same way, the psychological insight, what I perceive, I may perceive somebody as good, but the other person may not perceive the same person as good, because they will have some psychological experiences. If we analyze, our life becomes very easy. A calm mind thinks better, but to maintain a calm mind, it is really very difficult. It is actually a sadhana. But how do we maintain a calm mind? In spite of us being calm, sometimes there may be an external trigger which disturbs us not to be calm. For example, there was one lady who had lent 1 lakh loan to her neighbor. And the neighbor had promised that he will repay the next day morning. So at 11 o'clock, the lady was peaceful. At 11 p.m., she went to sleep. She went to her bed. But suddenly there was a call from her neighbor saying that I can't repay the loan tomorrow, madam. Sorry, excuse me, I need some more time. And he kept the phone and he slept. But this lady could not sleep. Why? Her mental balance was disturbed. Though she was peaceful, there was an external stimuli. There was an external trigger which spoiled her mindset. So how do we control these kinds of triggers which are not in our control? So we need to understand our thought process. The thoughts leads to actions. So when we think, our brain is getting a signal from the thought process. It secretes certain chemicals and hormones which releases emotions. So the type of emotions decide our behavior. If positive emotions are generated, if positive thoughts are generated, then it leads to positive emotions and positive behavior. If negative emotions are generated, it leads to negative emotions and behavior becomes negative. So, there are a few basically emotions or the impulses to act. The moment there are more than hundreds of emotions, and generally we can know through facial expression itself. So there are more than 100 emotions. See, for example, if you see a gun is a common object I will take here. A gun in policeman's hand, you feel very safe. The same gun in a museum, you feel very curious. Oh, who is that? When was it produced? How many bullets? What is the capacity and all that? But the same gun in the thief's hand, you will feel scared. You feel insecure. So the object is the same, but with different situations, our perceptions changes, causing change in our emotions. When emotions are changed, the behavior also changes. So, let us see how we can control our emotions. So, it is like the moment we control our emotions, we can change the thought process. Thought process changes, then emotions become positive, and then our behavior become positive. So, it is a circular process. So we need to assess what are the positive emotions that we often get in a day and what are the negative emotions we get in a day. List out the positive emotions. See, maybe happiness, joy, well-being, feeling enthusiastic, feeling very cool. It's glaring, so I have closed. So cool, feeling relaxed, feeling very positive, feeling like, oh, I can do many things today. So these are the feelings, but it is not the same throughout the day. It changes. So some negative emotions. So that is like stress, getting stressed, anger, losing control over our words or actions, fear. All of us are at some point of time under the spell of some fears, right? So fears, anxiety, phobias, irrational fears are called phobias, etc. So we are constantly under the spell of these emotions. But suppose if we have more of these positive emotions, we can develop positive mental attitude. Then we can, it makes our living happy and worthwhile, and it brings good health in us. It makes us comfortable and pleasurable, calm and peaceful and relaxed. So we are away from many disorders. But at the same time, if negative emotions increase, then it makes our life unworthy, makes us feel very discomfortable, makes us feel negative. We keep trying to find all negative things in others, negative things in any situation. So we get confused and life becomes totally unpleasurable, worthless. So when this happens, whatever we have in our lives, we cannot enjoy our lives. But why do we get these negative emotions? See, many people come to us and say, I am having too much of negative thoughts. I don't feel like enjoying my life at all. So why I do get that? I have everything in life, but still I'm not happy. Without my knowledge, I keep comparing myself with others. So because the root cause, let us go to the root cause analysis of why we can't give holistic. See, you all most of you must have heard the word psychosomatic illnesses. Psychosomatic illnesses means they are the illnesses or disorders which are caused due to psychological illness. Means psych means mind, soma means body. So the diseases originated from mind descending to the body. And you'll be surprised if I give you the list of psychosomatic illnesses. Firstly, cancer. Cancer is a psychosomatic illness. how much ever you treat cancer through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, whatever, relapse is evident because you're not addressing the root cause of cancer. It could be the stress of a person from childhood or at a later stage or at the present stage of life. And because of that stress, the weakest part of the body is affected. So cancer is psychosomatic illness. And you will be surprised if I say most of the skin problems, including psoriasis. So unless you treat the deep-rooted psychological problem, could be from childhood also, whatever treatment is given is only superficial. How much ever you try to cure, it will relapse. So for leukoderma, psoriasis, psychological intervention is a must along with medication. Only medication, there is no 100% cure, definitely. With gastritis is an anxiety disorder. Dysentery or too much bowel movements, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, is an anxiety disorder. Many people with IBS go to gastroenterologist, but they end up taking lifelong medications, Pandy and all that, which are going to damage the intestinal walls. But why? The main reason is the psychological. They may have an anxious personality or they may be having anxiety from a very long time or could be from childhood, which is not addressed. So it goes into deeper multiple areas. So heart problems, headache, sinusitis, thyroid. Thyroid is typically psychosomatic illness. It is basically due to stress. Unless you work on the stress or the root cause of why you got thyroid, the cure is almost not there. You have to, people end up taking lifelong medication. So how do we understand what we have? What is the root cause of our problems? So we call it as emotional wounds. What are these emotional wounds? One is the belief. Different people may have different kinds of wounds. I'm addressing 4 types of emotional wounds here. So one is the belief system wound. There was a boy called Ahmad, and Ahmad always felt he was a very bright student till his 5th standard. During the end of 5th standard or the 6th standard, he lost his father. So after he lost his father, his mother became the sole breadwinner. So what happened? So whenever Ahmad asked for something that which his friends had, maybe a good pencil box, a pen or whatever, mother would say, no, we don't have money. I will buy you later. We can't afford it. I'll buy you later. So this would be the mother's answer each time Ahmad asked for something. So gradually his academic performance declined. And the root cause was Ahmad got into kind of inferiority complex belief system in his belief system that they can't afford anything. So their life may not be as good as his friends' lives. They may not be able to afford anything. So finally, it impacted his psychological mindset. Though he was an intelligent boy, he could not perform well in his studies because of his belief system, change in his belief system. This is one of the psychological insights. So most of us will have a belief system that I'm not as fair as her. I'm not as lucky as him. I'm not as well placed as him. My parents are not that great. I'm not from a great background. So they're all belief systems. Once you eradicate the belief system, you can be a better person. So we have to analyze, go into the insight, what is the belief system we have in our mind. Belief system is, suppose even a low IQ child, he believes that I'm intelligent, I can achieve many things, he can be an achiever, he can score well. So it is all related to the belief system. So kindly go deeper inside yourself and write down in your personal diary, what is the belief system you have? What is this faith you have in yourself? What is the belief you have in yourself and your life? So if the beliefs are positive, then your goals will be positive and you can reach your goals quickly. Suppose if you have a negative belief system, kindly change to positive belief system, which matters so much in our lives, in especially becoming an achiever, achieving what we want in our lives. The second wound is no one loves me wound. This no one loves me wound is the most commonest wound. This is the commonest wound among underworld dons, drug addicts, alcoholics. See, we superficially say he is a drug addict, he is an alcoholic. Why? So if we go deeper, why they have gone into alcohol, why they are gone into thief, why they have become drug addicts, why they are into underworld dons, the root cause of them becoming this is no one loves me wound. So they go to any extent to live for themselves. They don't think from other person's angle, perspective at all, because they feel no one loves me. And most of the depressants, most of the suicide cases we have seen, the most common problem is no one loves me. It is a deep psychological wound which needs to be addressed. If we don't address these wounds which are there in us also, then that is the root cause of so many psychosomatic illnesses. See, for example, body pain. You may go to many doctors. There is no medical evidence to prove your pain or prove your suffering. All reports are normal, but you're suffering. You have headache, you do MRI, you do everything, but the pain continues. Your reports are normal. Doctors say there is no medication, but you continue to suffer. Then what is the reason? These are the wounds which are there in us also, which we need to address and overcome that. The third wound is the tomboy wound. Generally, it is very common among women. That is, tomboy wound means in some families, they say, you're a girl, you're going to somebody's house, you need to do this work, you need to learn this work, you need to serve everybody, you need to take care of everybody. So internally they feel, oh, is this what my life for? What is the purpose of my life? So they will not know what is the purpose of their lives. So they feel, they get irritated. Most of the times they get agitated with the opposite gender because they feel, oh, boys are not trained with this, only girls are trained with this. So then only girls, it is like this, that we are discriminated. So what happens is when they get into jobs, they become men haters. So the subordinates under these kind of women who have these wounds in them will have to suffer. The men subordinates especially will have to suffer. So we have to see if I am suffering from this wound by any chance. This is the psychological insight for holistic well-being. Suppose if we can work on these wounds that are there within us, we can be very, very successful. We can be very calm. We can be very peaceful in our lives. The last wound is the inferiority complex wound. See, in 99% of the population who are suffering from any problem, the root cause analysis, RCA, the root cause is the inferiority complex. You may all feel, is it so important? Yes. If inferiority complex is there, even if they have all the qualities in them, they cannot shine. Suppose in a meeting, you are sitting with board of directors, everybody, they are asking some question. You know the answer. You don't answer because you are hesitant. What others will feel? What if I go wrong? If I'm condemned in front of others? But at the same time, the person sitting next to you may answer. Then we start repenting. I could have answered. I could have answered. But no, I could not answer. Why? Inferiority complex. Suppose without our knowledge, unknowingly, we start comparing ourselves to others. Or sometimes we compare our children with others. We are instilling inferiority complex in our children also. So always ensure that we don't compare ourselves to others. Each individual is special. Each individual is a creation of God. Universe has created. So it has to be perfect. But what is wrong there? We are creating wounds within ourselves. That becomes a hindrance to our progress. I will give you one example here. One day you must have heard about Napoleon Hill, a great American author. But in his younger days, he was suffering from severe inferiority complex. and he was a failure in his academics. So he was thrown out of the school, and he was just wandering here and there, sitting on bus stops and just passing time. So one day his stepmother felt extremely anxious about him and angry about him, and she scolded him one day very strongly. See, in those days in America, getting into law was the easiest. So she told, at least why don't you go to a law college and study something? Why are you wasting your life like this? So she was extremely harsh, and it hurt the boy actually. So because of his inferiority complex, he felt he is not worthy of going to any college or having any education. But when the stepmother uttered very bad words, very harsh words on him, he felt that why not he go and join a law college. He went to the law college, he joined a law college, and for his good luck, the first project that he had to do was to interview 8 great men and write about them. So one such person whom he could interview was Carnegie Mellon, a big university today in the US, one of the Ivy League universities. So he got an opportunity to meet Carnegie Mellon and interview him. But Carnegie Mellon is a very disciplined person. He will not talk to anybody for more than 20 minutes. So with great difficulty, he gave appointment to this Napoleon Hill, and Napoleon Hill met Carnegie Mellon. He had a set of questions he asked him, and he was totally inspired by Carnegie Mellon's discipline, his determination, dedication, goal orientation. So he was totally inspired, which changed his lifestyle, which changed his total life. Then he went again with great difficulty, took one more appointment, and he went to Carnegie Mellon, and there was a total change in his life because he could come out of inferiority complex. It instilled hopes in him. With so much great difficulty, he is able to achieve. Why not I? I too can be an achiever. And he started writing books, and he is one of the most popular American authors, and he has authored a very wonderful book, Success Through Positive Mental Attitude. So in that book, he has authored very beautifully narrated, very, very beautiful lives, stories of all failures and how they have become successful. So I was just talking about these emotional wounds. So now let us go to the components of emotions. Why I'm talking about emotions is the psychological insight means emotions. If we learn to control our emotions, we can be great achievers. We can have a holistic well-being. We can control our mind. We can control our behavior. Then whatever goal we have will be easy for us to achieve. So now let us come to the components of emotions. So one is the biological component of emotion. The moment we experience emotions, a negative emotion, the brain, it triggers the brain secretes more of stress hormones. So the stress increases. Suppose if you start crying, the crying increases. Generally, it won't reduce. Okay. So when you are all watching Ekta Kapoor movies or videos, TV serials, everybody cries. But have you ever thought why you are crying? You are not actually crying for the character. You are somewhere relating your emotions, your past experiences, painful memories with the characters. So brain is triggered, it reduces, it secretes more of stress hormone and less of happiness chemicals. So the stress increases. So that is a biological component. The physical component, our behavior changes. We become jittery. We become restless. We don't sit in one place. And behavior changes, anger outbursts suddenly. And later on we feel, why did I behave like that? I have no answer. Many times we repent, we feel guilty, but we can't say sorry to anybody because the mistake is done. The cognitive component, the thought process, basically, how many of us can control our thought processes? It's impossible. If you can have a control over your thinking, then you are the winner of your life. Then, okay, fine. Why does these situations happen? Sometimes I am very much controlled. Still, I become sad. Morning, different times, different moods. Morning, I'm in a very positive mood. I feel I can achieve many things. I feel I can do many things. But in the afternoon, I feel so low, I can't do many things. And by the time I go back home from office, I would have planned many things, but nothing is going to work because I'm not in no mode. In the night, suddenly I feel enthusiastic. I start writing or I start doing some hobby and then I sleep. Or sometimes people are sleepless. Insomnia is a very, very disastrous problem in across the globe, I can say. Sleeplessness. See, one is due to mobile addiction, media addictions. The second is people biologically cannot get sleep because of their thought process. If we cannot control our thought processes, we enter into sleep disturbance. When sleep disturbance happens, then again the chemical imbalance triggers and we experience negative emotions, and that causes headache, mood swings. We can't focus on work. We can't excel in work, or we can't excel in what we wanted to do. So that causes excessive stress. So sometimes you can notice in biting nails, clenching the face, grinding teeth. Grinding teeth is also an emotional problem because we are so stressed in the night. During sleep, we start grinding teeth, and morning we go to dentist saying that we have pain here, we have decay here. Even most of the dental problems are psychosomatic illnesses. Without our knowledge, we'll be biting teeth, grinding teeth in the midnight, in our sleep, which we will not be aware at all. So we need to identify or overeating, bulimia, overeating, or anorexia nervosa. We don't eat at all. We try to spit, we try to vomit. Then the behavioral component, unconscious fears. All of us are under the spell of some unconscious fear. See, notice when I am talking to you only, try to write down what are the fears you have. Make a note in your personal diary. Most of the fears are unconscious. Consciously, we are able to fight out, manage, and do it. But unconsciously, we are not able to face the fears. For example, I can share an anecdote with you. How unconscious fears affect us. But if we can overcome, we can rule our life. There was a boxer who was 7 feet tall. So with great difficulty, he found a tall girl and decided to marry. And his friends told him, advised him, see, from day one, you have to be strict with your wife. Otherwise, if you give lenience, she will sit on your head. So from day one, he was very strict. So day one, the marriage was over. The day when the lady came, she was extremely in a state of fear. Why? New environment, new person, new experience in life. So this is fear. Unconscious fear. Conscious it can be conscious also, but the unconscious fear will be more than the conscious fear. So she was in extreme state of fear. She came to the boxer's room. And the boxer, he was also under the spell of fear because he thought she will sit on his head if she gives lenience. So the lady came and he asked, you know who I am? So the fear increased. Please tell me. I am a boxer. My father is a boxer. My grandfather is a boxer. You know what you should do to me? So she was extremely polite because fear. So she said, tell me what I can do for you. Night 2 o'clock, you have to keep hot water for my bath. She said, okay. Night 2 o'clock, she kept hot water. Every day night, this continued. Night 2 o'clock, hot water. Night 2 o'clock, keep hot water. She kept on doing it. After 2 years, he told, night 2 o'clock, keep hot water for my bath. By that time, she had conquered her fears. So she politely, she asked, if I don't keep, what will you do? Boxer said, then I'll take bath in cold water. If she had told him the same thing on first day also, it would have been the same thing. But why she didn't tell on the first day? She was under the spell of fear, a negative emotion. So she tried to stretch herself. So over the time, through our life experience, through our experiences from our life situations, we grow in life. We grow, we learn many things. We conquer our emotions. We conquer our fears. So that is unconscious fears are also important, where we really need to address. Just a me time in a day. Sit alone for 10 minutes. What are the emotions I had from morning till night? Did I control or did I not control? Where all I have erred in my life today? If we can control, or if we can have an assessment on these parameters, I feel your life become really worthwhile. You will start enjoying each day of your life. Then coming to the cognitive pattern, the thought processes. Also, we have to monitor our thought processes. Paranoid thinking. See, so many diversions are happening because of paranoid thinking. This is also an emotional disorder. So, doubts, having confusions, having doubts, cause this the root cause of so many marriages these days, because people are not assessing their own thoughts. These are because of cognitive errors, cognitive distortions, cognitive schemas, negative emotions. If negative thoughts and negative emotions increases, then the person loses control over his thought process, over his behavior. That leads to the problems in marriage, problems in families. Then what are the causes of these emotional problems? It can be stressful situations in life. It could be hereditary, inadequate coping skills, inadequate problem solving skills. See, when it comes to problem solving skills, we have to grow bigger than the problem. Then problem no more exists. It becomes a situation. For example, I will share an anecdote with you. See, you all have seen Hanuman having this Sanjeevani Parvat. If you describe the picture that you can see, the Sanjeevani Parvat is so small and the Hanuman is so big. How is it possible? See, even Hanuman, as an ordinary person, he went and stood in front of Sanjeevani Parvat. He saw it was too huge. He had promised that he will bring, but there he also got into confusion. He also got into fears. He also got into self-doubts. Then what did he do? He prayed Ram, the energy. For him, the positive energy is Ram. So he prayed Ram. So as a result of his prayers, he imbibed the positive energy, grew bigger and bigger and bigger than the Parvat. So Parvat became small and he could carry it in his palm. So the same way, when we get problems, if we grow bigger than the problem becomes small, where we can resolve. What we do? We become too small, make the problem big. We make molehill out of a mountain out of an anthill. So we have to decide, actually sit right down, where actually I have heard, how else I can manage this problem. So if we actually take insights, deeper insights, there is no word called problem. It is only a situation, and situation will pass. Then you all know the story, this too shall pass. No situation is permanent. It keeps passing. We only have to have courage. We have to convert fear into courage. If we are courageous, if we are strong enough, if we can assess our emotional pattern, if we have a good control of our thought process, there is no word called problem in our lives. So that is the psychological insight that I mean to say. Type of family, order of siblings, everything matters. Then on any negative environment, everyone has two environments, one positive environment and one negative environment. One outside, internal, and one external environment. Internal environment we can modify, but external environment we cannot modify. It influences us more. So the internal environment has to be as strong as possible. So I always suggest take a me time in a day, at least for about 10 to 15 minutes. Go introspect, take an insight of what all you did, which are the emotions you have used, which are the thought processes which have guided you throughout the day, and what changes you can make, or what all you can retain for the next day. Fine. So when we go to the therapeutic insights, there are three states of mind. One theory says there are three states of mind: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Conscious state of mind is what you are in control. The subconscious state. So sometimes you get your past painful memories which you don't want to recall. What do? You push it. Where do you push? Push it to the subconscious mind. It is there within you only. You have control over that also. But even in the subconscious mind, you don't want to recall. You again push it. Where will it go? It goes to the deep unconscious mind, where it can't come out by itself. So as things accumulate in your deep unconscious mind, the person tend to get negative thinking, more of negative emotions, crying spells, emotional problems, psychological problems. So what we do, psychoanalytic approach, with some deep imprinted childhood memories, repressed emotions, childhood suppressed emotions, they're all deeply seated in your deep unconscious mind, which are the root cause of all your problems. So at that time, when you can manage yourself with interventions like yoga, walking, good lifestyle, hobbies, anything, fine. If you are not able to manage with that, then you need a therapeutic support, which will definitely help you to overcome the deep unconscious matter. That causes a lot of distress because it wants to come out. It can't stay there for long. It won't come in the thought process. It won't come in the form of thoughts. It comes in the form of negative dreams, nightmares, night terrors, somnambulism, or any kind of health issues, the psychosomatic illnesses. So what we do is we scoop out through psychoanalytic approach, psychotherapeutic intervention it is called, scoop out the deep through mild trance, conversational hypnotherapy, or cognitive behavioral therapy. We scoop out the unconscious matter where the person feels relaxed. He can overcome any kind of illness that he or she is suffering from. And there is another approach called environment, dynamic. That is, we are altering the environment. See, most of the times we can't control ourselves, or we can't control the situation, but where we can control ourselves. See, I just share an anecdote with you. There was a father who was traveling to Mysore with a 7-year-old boy. This boy was extremely hyperactive and very, very maladaptive behavior. So throughout the train journey, the boy would snatch the groundnuts that somebody is eating. He would tear the paper that somebody is reading. He would just jump up and down. And each time that boy was making mischief, father was telling one thing: Srinivasa, keep quiet. Srinivasa, keep quiet. So Mysore came, but the boy continued to do what he was doing. Mysore came, everybody got down. The father got down. The one sitting next to father also got down. He was extremely angry. He asked the father, Swami, throughout the journey, your kid was doing horrible behavior. And each time, instead of saying Srinivasa keep quiet, you should have given him left and right, slapped him, blasted at him. Then the father said, my name is Srinivasa. Since I know I cannot control the child, I was controlling myself. Means, when you cannot control a situation, when you can't control somebody, it is always safe that we control ourselves, because our life is important to us. The cognitive triad, it is self is here, then others and the world. So only when the self, the base is strong, then others, the people around us will be good and the society will be good. So we need to first protect ourselves, safeguard ourselves, see what best we can do to self and others and the society. So controlling environment is self-control first. There was a father who was working from home, and a 6-year-old son was disturbing him. He was not able to focus on work. So he was thinking how to make this boy quiet. I'm not able to focus on my work. So he went to the storeroom. There he got a world map. He brought the world map, tore it into pieces, and gave it to the kid. See, if you join this world map, I will give you a chocolate. So the child felt very happy the moment it heard the word chocolate. The father said, I'll give you chocolate. He came back, sat on his table. He was thinking that he can finish his work in 1 hour till the child completes world map. But for his surprise, within 8 minutes, the child came back and said, Daddy, Daddy, I finished. And he got doubt. How can you finish so soon? He went, show me, how did you finish? The boy had done. He had joined the world map within 8 minutes. He was surprised. He asked, how did you do it? The boy said, no, Daddy. Below the world map, there was a poster of a man. I joined the poster, world map got joined automatically. The child could do it because the child's mind was calm. He could not calm the child because he was not calm. So having a calm state of mind leads to holistic well-being. Having control over our behavior is extremely important. So the behavioral control, the best is pranayama. Pranayama under a guidance of a guru. Otherwise, prana will go to yama. Okay. So pranayama, good breathing exercises, yoga, walking. Walking especially helps in controlling behaviors. You may be surprised when you walk, your foot, there are nerve endings in your foot which are connected to the brain. The brain gets energized. Brain releases more of happiness chemicals. You feel relaxed. So there's more of positive emotions. Walking is good for your mind also. So walking, yoga, pranayama, having hobbies are extremely important. And then there is another approach that focus on yourself. Always aim higher. So the basic needs, if you have already, then go for esteem needs. Self-esteem is what is important in one's life. So how do you achieve self-esteem? By setting short-term goals, long-term goals, and the same way, increasing the goals, reaching out the goals, whatever the goals may be, write every day. And gratitude diary. Every day, you can fix a gratitude chart on your fridge or inside your cupboard or on your personal diary. Every day, make it a point to write your gratitude. To whom you would like to offer your gratitude for today. It may be your own servant. It may be your own spouse, child, parents, teachers, anybody in your life. And the same thing we can teach to our people at home also. The life becomes so simple if we learn to offer gratitude and monitor our emotions. Then how do we do psychological insights? How do we stay calm? How do we monitor our thoughts? One is, I always told you, the me time. The second is, stop blaming others. Nobody, as Swami Vivekananda says, you are the creator of your own destiny. Stop blaming others. Then activity scheduling. Maintain a diary from morning till night. What are we going to do? Otherwise, time just passes. Just passes. We end up dissatisfied. I didn't achieve much today. I didn't do much today. So at least from morning till night, take a stock of your life, like how chartered accountants take a stock of the entire finances of the day. The same way, taking stock of the entire process of what we did today. So what all I did in the morning, what I could have done better, what way I could have performed better, anything better I could have done? No. Or I have done what I did was the best. Can't repeat the behavior. Praise yourself. Don't forget to praise yourself. And assertiveness training. Assertiveness training means expression of any emotion other than anger or anxiety on others. So monitor your thoughts. We have no right to express our anger or anxiety on others. Every life, every human being, he has his own self-respect, self-esteem. Our goal of life should be always self-actualization. That means, what is the purpose of my life? What way? Ask yourself a question. Who am I? What way I'm connected to the planet? What is the goal of my life? What am I contributing to society each day? If we are able to answer these questions in a day, and if we get different answers, positive answers in each day, we are on the right path. So, positive assertive search, that is, look out for all good qualities in you. Some people say, ma'am, don't ask me about positive qualities. If you want me to talk about Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, I can talk, but don't tell me to talk about me. I'm a very bad person. No, everyone have 50 good, 50 bad. If we keep talking about our 50 good and thinking about our 50 good, our emotions change, our thought process will change. Cognitively, we can become strong. Our self-esteem will improve. Self-confidence improves. So, reading books, positive books, we always say for that, especially for parents, read one story of a saint or a scholar and tell your child before they sleep. It induces positive energy, positive thoughts in the person, goal orientation. So, bibliotherapy is recommended for a very healthy life. Myeliotherapy, that is change of environment. At least weekends taking breaks from the same environment can put you from a normal state of mind to a more resourceful state of mind. If you are in the more resourceful state of mind, our body listens to our mind. Even if we have an unhealthy body, it can become healthy. That is the speciality of keeping the mind calm, peaceful, and confident. Developing positive mental attitude. Any situation, take the positive out of it. Go back to 10 years back. Recall a situation that you have managed. Praise yourself, because for that day's exposure, for that day's IQ you had, whatever decision you took was right. So recall the same situation and praise yourself that you can do better. If the same kind of situation repeats in your life, you are a better person and you can face it better. Then social skills. Be always socially interactive. Make good friends, positive friends. We call as satsang. Sajjanara Sangha, the making positive friends. And relaxation training. So one is hydrotherapy. Louis Kuhnhe is the father of water medicine. Taking 10 glasses of warm water a day keeps you calm, relaxed, and stress-free. The moment you experience any spell of stress or anxiety or a sad mood, immediately drink water. Even with that, it is not coming down. Then take one glass of water, a glass of buttermilk, add a pinch of salt and sugar and drink it. You will get boosting of the mood because it adds to the brain sodium. So when the sodium level of the brain is altered, your mood is also altered. So water balance in the body is very important. Sometimes when you are getting up in the morning, you are lethargic over the day's course. Then immediately take a glass of water with pinch of salt and sugar. Your mood will automatically elevate. And then Louis Kuhnhe is the father of medicine. He has cured many ailments just with water. It is a huge subject. Water therapy is a huge subject. I'm just giving you one glimpse of it for a positive psychological insight, for a healthy well-being, for a very positive life, for a very good physical and mental health. Then the pets therapy. Pets gives unconditional love. Say a dog, for example, even if you hate, you scold, the next moment it will wag its tail and come behind you, which no human can do. So unconditional, we use this pet therapy for alcoholics, drug addicts, underworld dons, and people with severe no one knows me wound, emotional wound. So it helps, it works wonders. Sometimes dolphins are used. They emit ultraviolet radiation. We use to treat dyslexia, mental retardations, etc. So many other emotional problems. Then art therapy. We all feel we are all very big. We should not do coloring. We should not do art. No. So for hobbies, there is no age. Whatever our chronological age may be, but our mental age can be same. We all can stay young at heart. So every day using Vibgyor colors relaxes the mind. In fact, It is a very good stress buster. Then the color therapy using Vibgyor colors and an art. Keep an art book. Every day start writing. Okay, you can write a tree, you can write a leaf. Simple artwork improves it. It relaxes your mind, calms your mind. If your mind is calm, there is no roga for your body. Hugging a tree is also a very important exercise. Watering plants, planting, gardening is a very good stress buster. It's very good, healthy for the brain. It improves calmness, more of insight. And yoga, of course, you all know, it unifies body and mind. And laughter therapies, it itself is a whole therapy. Laughter therapy, wholehearted laughter, where you use your lungs and throat and the face along with facial expressions. You feel extremely good and relaxed. These are all different approaches, adjunctive approaches to reduce stress, to get psychological insight. Only when you are calm, moving towards calm state of mind, confident state of mind, where you really reach your goals and bring a meaning to your life, purpose to your life. Then music and yoga. Music therapy is Raga Chikitsa. Raga for rogas. Raga Shankarabharana is a beautiful raga. We use this for hyperactive children, for children with behavioral problems, people with aggressive behaviors in homes. And Raga Kalyani also is a very good raga. You don't need lyrics always. Even only the swaras can bring lot of peace and joy. So maybe I can just give you a glimpse of this Raga Kalyani, and just close your eyes and listen to the raga, just the raga, focus. I mean, I'm not using lyrics, only the swaras I'm using. Just focus on the swaras and see your mood before listening and after listening to this raga. So I can just give you a glimpse of Kalyani raga and focus on your mood. See the evidence that it changes your mindset to a more of a positive mindset. So I'll just sing before I close my session one effect of music on stress or state of mind. Okay. Sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa da ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa da ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ri sa ni da da pa da ni, sa da ni da da pa pa ma ga ma pa da pa ma ma ga ga ri, sa ri sa ga ri ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ri ga ri sa ni da pa ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma pa da pa ma ga ma pa da pa ma ga ri ga ma pa ma ga ri sa ri ga ma ga ri sa ni da pa da ni, sa ri ga ri re sa ga re pa ma da pa ga ma pa da ni, sa ri ga ni sa ri da ni sa pa da ni ma pa da ni ri sa ni da da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa pa sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa, sa ni da pa ma ga ma pa da ni, sa. This is a calming raga. It makes our mind calm and composed. There's another raga which brings emotional catharsis. The hidden emotions, it removes, vents out, making us calm and free. There are some different ragas you can choose in your YouTube according to your requirement. What raga suits you? What raga helps you to calm you down? And sometimes the emotions are so accumulated in our heart that we need different ragas can bring it out. Catharsis we call. Ventilation. For example, one raga. Payuji mene Ram Ratana Dan Payo. Payuji mene Ram Ratana Dan Payo. Vasta Molik दे मेरे सतगुरु कृपा कर अपनायो। पायो जी मैंने कृपा कर अपनायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, मीरा के प्रभु गिरिधर नागर, हर करक जस गायो। पायो जी मैंने हर करक जस गायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो। पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो. These are some ragas. So we can use ragas for emotional catharsis, or if you are an artist, you can use artwork, or if you are into yoga, walking is the best. Yoga is the best for psychological insight. If we are very calm, at least we can know I did a mistake in my talking. I've hurt the person, or I spoke so calmly to the person that I could help him calming down. See, so we can help others. Not only we can help ourselves, we can help others if we can have psychological insights, which brings us good health mentally and physically. So with this, so balancing the physical quotient, emotional quotient, social quotient, spiritual quotient. If we can balance all these quotients, there is no word called roga or suffering in our lives. There is no word called problem in our life. We can conquer our lives. We can not only help ourselves, we can help others, we can help the society. We can derive a purpose for our life. We can have a meaningful life. At the time of our death, if my life asked me, what did you do in your lifetime? I have an answer. So that should be the goal of our life. That should be the purpose of our life. So always question, who am I, who I can be. And the gratitude diary really empowers us, makes us really positive, and we'll be grateful to whatever God has given to us in our lives. So with this, I conclude my session, and now you're open for questions.
Participants, any questions? If you have any questions, please unmute and ask your questions.
Madam, we have a question in the chat box. Like, how do you identify which is my raga? Which raga suits me, believer? I think
you have to identify listening to different songs, but generally raga Shankarabharana, raga Kalyani, or standard ragas which we suggest, standard ragas. So you have to identify, listen to those ragas. So if you type in YouTube, you get different ragas and different languages of your choice. So if you are listening, if you are not comfortable, move to another raga of your choice. Or if you are already in the habit of listening to some music which is helping you, then you can stick on to that. There is no specific raga, because what I like is different from what you like. But the standard ragas we use is Shankarabharana, Kalyani, Hamsadvani, and Mohana ragas. They are very psychologically, the psychological boosters there.
Thank you, madam. So you got a really wonderful voice. That was a nice raga which.
Thank you.
And madam mentioned about different approaches to reduce the stress, like yoga therapy, music therapy, meditation, and all that. That music therapy, I agree with you, ma'am, because I myself have experienced it many times. Music, it has really helped me to come out of the stress.
Very good, very good.
Any more questions, participants?
Yeah, not only questions, you can share your experience also, because this was a very different kind of topic, right? So you can share your experience, like what you felt listening, or what is your experience in the session. Any
Yes.
language is fine.
Yes. Please, participants.
No, it was really a wonderful experience, madam. So you gave us a round view of how to be relaxed and be calm in different pressures or stress level. So thanks a lot. I got some ideas. Probably in future I'll be in touch with you
Yeah.
for this. Thanks a lot, madam.
Thank you. Because generally people say, why are you stressed? Don't get stressed. It is easy to say, but really burning stress is not easy. You need to really work on that. How do you work on that? So we need to go in an organized way, then it becomes easy, right? So thank you for your inputs. Anybody else?
I'm Livia, and I would like to thank you, ma'am. It was very interesting session and very refreshing as well. And I want to also thank Rupa Tantri for this, because she had posted it in our group and I could attend. And it's really very interesting. And I look forward to more sessions like this. I think I can probably, utilize it for myself, my family, and in my work environment also. So thank you so much to you as well as Rupa.
Thank you.
Thanks, Livia. And thank you, ma'am. It was really a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Feedback form is provided in the chat box. I request all the participants to kindly fill that feedback form, and you will receive the e-certificate. Viraja ma'am, are you there? Shiv Prasad sir?
Yes, madam, I'm here. You can give the vote of thanks, madam.
Yeah, on behalf of Disciples India Learning Forum, I thank Dr. Padma Shri for her wonderful inputs to come out of the stress. It was really a very wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you all. And it was nice being with you all, and glad to know that you all could get some benefit out of it. So thank you very much. Good night to all of you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you all.